up guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys this makeup look. It is basically my take on spring glam. I am not about color that much, so this is basically as colorful as it gets for the spring. So the other night, right, I was basically just playing with makeup because it's been a long time since I just sat and played with makeup, and then I posted the final look on my Instagram stories and you guys really seemed to like the look, so I tried my best to recreate it. So I hope you guys enjoy this makeup tutorial. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned with everything else that I post, and without further ado, let's get started with this makeup tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started with this makeup. Let's chat, let's play with some makeup. The palette that I'm going to be using today is the Morphe Dare to Create palette. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and prime my lids, and I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. So I just apply this on here just so that the shadows can show up a little bit nicer. I also like going in with translucent powder to kind of just set. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this shadow. It is one of their lightest nudes. I'm basically going to be applying this shadow all over the crease. Kind of just warm the crease up a little bit for these shadows that are to come. So I'm kind of building it up. I have realized that the best thing to do when you're doing your shadow is take your time, number one. Number two is build up the shadows. Don't go in heavy-handed because then that's what kind of throws off makeup looks. It's best to kind of just go, you know, a little bit at a time, kind of build up the color as you go, and take your time. Don't be rushed. We got nothing but time nowadays. So because I'm going to be playing with vibrant colors, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a vibrant transition color. This is their other nude, which is more of like a peachy orangey tone. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on a more precise brush and kind of begin to just work that into the crease, just so that the crease becomes a little bit more blendable with the other colors that I'm going to use, because I'm using very vibrant colors, so I want to make sure that everything blends in smoothly. Using colors that blend in smoothly together. And I'm also using a much more precise brush so that it goes right into my crease. It's always good too to even have a brush that doesn't have any product on it and use that to kind of blend everything together so that, you know, you get a nice little blend of color. I'm going to go ahead and go in with this maroon color, and I'm going to apply this in the crease as well, and a little bit on the outer part of the eye. When I think about spring makeup, I don't really like using like pinks or blushes on my lids. I don't know, I just feel like my face doesn't really do well with those shadows, but when it comes to like maroon colors and kind of like reds, I love playing with those shadows. So that's why I wanted to play around with this one. And it's okay if you're getting it on the lid because we're going to cut it out anyway with some concealer. So right now I'm kind of just building up the crease still, and I'm doing some on the outer part of the eye and then kind of bringing it inwards. And I'm going to use the most recent brush that I use to kind of blend this into the crease. I love this. Even with like spring, guys, I can't do vibrant. I don't know why. I still like my like grungy, smoky looks. I don't know. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease, and I'm doing like a very half cut crease. I'm just going to take concealer and do like a half cut crease. So I'm using a very, very, very thin concealer brush. I always like starting towards my eyelid space, and then I kind of just look up and it creates like where I need to go. So I can't really talk while I do this, so I'm gonna kind of skip forward through this. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take some loose translucent powder and kind of just set the entire concealer just so that it doesn't really spread and make a mess with the rest of the shadows that I'm going to go in with. I'm going to be going in with this chocolate brown shade, and I'm going to be using this to kind of darken up the crease in the outer part of the lid as well. And I want to share with you guys the brush that I'm using. This is the Morphe M562 brush, and it is a very, very fluffy brush. That's why I like using it for this particular application, because it's fluffy but it's thin enough to be precise in the crease area. So I'm going to start on the outer part. As you can see, I'm kind of just going back and forth, and then I'm going to take the remaining amount and kind of put it all over the crease, and it will also kind of help clean up any of the other concealer that's there as well. So I'm just placing that like that and then doing the rest in the crease. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some wing liner, and I'm gonna do a very, very small wing because I don't want it to be too dramatic to take away from the look that we're trying to accomplish. So I'm going in with the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I always like to kind of shake it up before I use it. And I like using this liner because it's very easy to maneuver and control. I got a tiny, tiny bit of liner like on my lid space, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry a little bit, and then I'll just take a Q-tip and kind of... So I'm gonna go ahead and do lashes now that I did my eyeliner, and I'm using the Allure Glam Glamour lashes. If you guys are new to my channel, I actually use wig glue for my lash glue because I just feel like it's easier to handle. I can't do like Ardell glue or anything like that because I feel like it does not glue the lash onto my eye, but this is very secure and it comes right off. It's not gonna affect your actual real lashes. If you're one of those people who can put your lashes on with your fingers, I commend you so much. And then of course I'm gonna go ahead and put some mascara on the top lashes so that my natural lashes blend in with the falsies. Especially because after all of this, apply some mascara to kind of blend everything together. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with primer, and I'm using my Capture Total Dream Skin Karen Perfect, and this is from Dior, and apply it all over my skin. I really love using this primer because it leaves my skin so smooth. I'm gonna evenly apply it everywhere. And I'm gonna go ahead and go in with foundation, and I'm using my Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. Guys, I love this foundation so much. I did a full in-depth foundation review of this foundation when it first came out. And I had a lot more acne than what I do right now. I know I have acne, but it was so much worse. I always go back to that video to kind of compare my acne journey because I don't think my acne has been as bad as it was in that video, and it just covered everything right up. Like, such a good foundation, especially if you're looking for something that's super high coverage but is very affordable. I like stand by this foundation so much. The only thing is that it does oxidize a little bit throughout the day, so that's why I get like a much lighter foundation shade so that when it oxidizes, it doesn't look too orange on me. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with concealer. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm also going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It's really not necessary at all to use two concealers, but I just found that these two serve such a different purpose. This concealer is more so for hydrating and concealing, and then the other concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape one, is kind of more so for like more highlighting. I'm just gonna blend this out. How are you guys spending this staying at home / quarantining time? Because I feel like I want to know, what are you guys doing to stay busy? What are you doing to stay entertained? I'm trying my best to like find different ways to stay entertained. And I'm gonna go ahead and set my concealer, and believe it or not, you guys, I have replaced my Fenty Beauty with my Wet n Wild translucent powder because this one is just so much more smoothing. I feel like it smooths my skin out, and it is a photo focus powder, so I guess it has like something in it that kind of smooths your skin out. The Fenty Beauty one, I actually feel like it dried my under eyes out, and I was kind of just using it because I purchased and I didn't want to like have it go to waste. But now that I found this Wet n Wild one, this is my new baby. I'm going to be going in with my Mimi I'm Multi-Stick, and this is their brown shade. I'm going to use this to cream contour a little bit. I've been doing this because I like the shadow that this leaves on my skin. So I'm just gonna apply it. It's like the perfect taupe. I like going in with this first in the areas that I'm gonna contour. And then I go in with like a small stippling brush and kind of just blend it all out. I like doing a stippling brush instead of a blender because I feel like the stippling brush doesn't pick up my foundation. It blends it nice and smoothly into the skin. And then the same for the forehead. I feel like bronzer just brings me back to life. I would love to know what shows you guys are into right now or what shows you're watching. The most recent shows that I have finished are Love is Blind because everybody was raving about it, and in the beginning I was like, this is so whack. It kind of reminded me of The Bachelor, and I don't watch shows like that. I'm not really into like reality TV other than Kardashians, but anything other than that just kind of feels too fake for me. But Love is Blind really, really grabbed my attention. I could not stop watching it. I think I binged it like in 2 or 3 days. And then I started watching Little Fires recently. I absolutely love it. Kerry Washington is in it and Reese Witherspoon. Those are like some of my 2 favorite actresses. So I was hooked on it. I just started All American on Netflix. I don't know how I feel about it so far. It's kind of a little bit like slow, but I'm only on the 3rd episode, so I'm sure it picks up. I'm gonna go ahead and go in and set my contouring with some bronzer, and I'm using the Butter Bronzer. I absolutely love this brush for bronzer. I know that this is probably more of a shaped brush for contouring and really getting in there, but I just love the way that this brush leaves and applies my bronzer. This is the Morphe M530 brush. Apply that. I like to circle it around, and then I'm going to do that on the forehead. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with highlight, and for highlight I'm using the Dose of Colors Highlight in Fuego. I really like this highlight because it's very subtle. It doesn't take away too much from the look. I've realized that when my skin is breaking out, I don't want a highlighter that's too intense, because then I feel like it kind of makes my skin look a little bit worse. But this one is like the perfect amount of highlight. I love the way that it just leaves the skin very natural, in my opinion. Now I'm gonna go in with blush, and this is the blush that I have been loving. It is the Kylie blush in Close to Perfect. I would describe it as like a coral blush, something that's not too intense. It's like the perfect just little tint of rose. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with the under eyes. I am going to be using just one of the darker chocolate colors to kind of really darken up the lash line a little bit. Really apply that on the lower lashes. Give me a little bit of smoke. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara on the lower lashes. And this is literally like a must for me, guys. I have to put lower lash line mascara. I just feel like it's not a complete look without it. So my lip combo for this video is a little bit complicated, but it's because I have been trying to find the perfect nude, and I just feel like it's really hard to find one. So I have to use a bunch of liners and stuff to achieve what I'm looking for. So I'm going in first with MAC's lip liner in Cork, and I'm just lining my lips with this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the liner with the KKW Beauty lip liner, and this is in Nude 1. So as you can see, this is like super dark, very grungy, but to achieve the nude that I want, I go on top of this look with my Maybelline 535 nude lipstick. But this is like a very light, basically white type of color. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that in the middle. And you guys will see it just kind of work. It's magic. And then I kind of just blend it into the rest of my lips. And then if I lose a little bit of the liner, as you can see, like the lip kind of took over, I can go back in with the liner and kind of line my outer lips. So that kind of gives me like the nude that I like to go for. And since it is more of like a spring look, I think I want to do more of a glossy lip. So I'm going to go in with the KKW Nude 2 lipstick. And this isn't completely matte. This has like a little bit of gloss in it. So I'm just going to put this on my lips. And then bada bing, bada boom. This is the nude that I've been wearing lately. I know it's like unnecessarily complicated. All right, so the last thing is setting spray. The setting spray that I've been loving is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. So I just shake it up a little bit because there's not much left. I need to go get another one. And then I just spritz my entire face. And voila. So this is basically the entire makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel so you can stay tuned with everything else that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Finding this shadow in the... There's a motorcycle. And now this dog won't stop barking. Bling bling, la calle me llamó. I wish the calle was llamándome. Why am I watering? Why are my eyes watering? My dad's calling me. Hey, Papa, ¿cómo estás?